Hi Sagittarius, this is Just with your March 1st to the 15th, 2018 reading. I hope you guys are having an enjoyable day so far. So Sag, some of you guys, I feel in the past, there was a sense of you depending on something or someone, or holding on to something that was losing its grip, or you was losing your grip on it. Okay. So if you were depending on some money to some extent, that money could have decreased or could have stopped altogether. And while you guys were worried, I feel like being the typically optimistic Sag, you guys have found some form of positive influence or energy out of what at first seemed to have been a problematic situation. I feel like you guys have made a decision to move forward, or you've gotten news that now things are back the way that they were or on an increase. So if you had some child support or alimony, or residual income that was due you, and it stopped or decreased drastically because you were going through some type of, because I do get courts here. So you was going through some judicial litigation. You may find that now judgments have come in your favor, and now you can kind of move on because things are now on an upswing. So some of you literally is going to come out of this increasing your final bottom line. So there's an increase to monies that you're going to get because of, again, alimony, child support, that sort of thing. If you're going through a divorce of some sort, if you have some form of residual income that is owed to you by way of partnership or business, severance packages of any monies that were owed to you. And it was tied up in litigations. And at first you got a little bit before the final judgment came out, or they reduced you. You guys may find that things are very favorable and the outcome was in your favor. And now you have that increase. You have either your pension, you have, things worked out in your favor. So kudos to you guys. Okay. Some of you may not feel completely whole in this situation until a full year. So if you've already been going through this may be your time, your year that you've initially graduated to some extent. Others of you, if you've just started this process, it may take a full year, even after the judgment of still not a year from the judgment, but a year. For some of you, it will be a year from that judgment that you'll say financially, okay, I'm sound again. I'm good. Or it will take a full year from when the decrease happened or the restriction to feel like things are back on track. But I do see that for some of you, there's definitely some form of residuals coming back to you. Others of you, I feel that this is a powerful, powerful month for Sagittarius, by the way. If you have been looking for a job, some of you may have not heard anything, worrying because there's been no real interest or word back from things, being able to kind of move the needle forward. It looks like you guys are really going to start hearing things now. Things are going to start to move forward in a very sound and balanced sort of way. This will now, because of what you're hearing, your own movements moving forward, there's this new approach to life, a new lease on life, like feeling like, now is my time. I'm going to strike out now. And you will hear things coming back in a favorable sort of way. You may even hear that, yes, you've gotten a job. Some of you have to move, though. There's a catalyst to this, or it's a bit of a distance from where you work. And that may not be so, you may not be very happy about that. Like, I don't want to, work in that city. I don't want to work in that town, or I got to go travel that far. But it's something that will be very rewarding for you. It may take you, like I said, a year, something about a full year for you guys. So it may take a full year for it all to resonate and say, well, you know what, this is this was worth it. I didn't know back then, but this was worth it. Or I'm very happy at where I am now. I do feel like for a lot of Sagittarius, there's a bit of graduating going on here. So for some of you, it's a literal graduation, and congratulations. For those of you who are graduating, for those of you who are deciding after your graduation, you're going to go to law school, congratulations. I feel like it's going to be very successful for you, albeit a daunting task. It's not going to be easy, and I'm sure I don't have to tell anyone that going to any type of accelerated academia. There's no, easy way with that, but it will be very beneficial and successful for you. Now, However, though, I do see that there is some form of a limitation. For those of you who are graduating, literally, there is, again, a full year cycle coming up before you can officially feel like now you are on track. For those of you where this is like not literal, but it's figurative graduating, I feel like a lot of you have come away from the what do you call it? It's that sting of, I want to say another word, but I can't think of it. But it's the sting of Saturn having transited you, where you guys was cleaving and hugging on to every little penny that you could. And even when you did, money was still losing you left and right, and you just couldn't hang on to any money. Now things are starting to kind of move in a positive way, and not only that, but you believe it. I remember giving readings to you guys and saying things were positive, and it was almost like you guys were like, I don't believe that. No, it's not yet. No. It was still that sting of Saturn, but I feel some of you are feeling like very hopeful, not only hopeful but intentional towards, how much forward you're going to move in your life, and that you know what you want now. I get that a lot of Sagittarius know what they want. They know where they want to be. They know what their future kind of looks like. At least you have an idea, right? No one ever fully understands what your future is going to be. As far as I guarantee, no one has that. But there is this understanding, finite for some of you, that you know where you want to be. A decision is made and you guys have disconnected from one place. So some of you said, I've been this for, 8 years. I've been this for 18 years, for 28 years. And now I'm going to move into a whole new direction. By the way, that makes complete sense, because Taurus, which is going to have Uranus transiting its sign for the next, I believe, 8 or 9 years, starting in May of this year, goes into your 6th house. Of course, I'm speaking to Sagittarius, Sun and rising, more specific for rising, but at a lesser extent, the sun. And so a lot of you are going to be pushed into, or decide freely to go into, a whole new realm of life, and having had no prior experience with what you're going into, and that's going to make you feel limited. It may at times make you feel very weary, on defense, because again, this is outside of your realm and you don't know what the hell you're doing, right? But you know that you have to do it. You've got to do something else. You cannot keep doing what you're doing. And I feel that eventually, if you haven't already completely disconnected from whatever from the past you've done, you will eventually find yourself completely disconnecting from whatever it is that you've been doing in the past. But it may take a full year for some of you to completely say, okay, I don't do that anymore. Now I'm completely doing this, or I feel completely solid and confident in this new realm of existence that I'm at this point treading so lightly to ease and guide my way into, and at times very defensively. So just relax. No one's against you. I don't see anyone against you. I do feel like the learning curve will be very strict, right? And because of that, you may feel a bit defensive. But just know that it's just going to take you some time to learn, and it's not going to come easy. There's nothing about whatever new is happening for you in the month of March. And mind you, something new and very transformative for you guys will be happening in the month of March. And it does come by way of karma. So there will be some judgments, decisions that come in that I feel that some of you will not be ready for. And it will create you having to physically move. Some of you will not be aware that you have to physically move right now. And you're like, I'm not moving anywhere. Then, time goes on. And it's like, oh crap, I have to move. So there was a move, but it has been, or it will be very successful. You have no idea, but it will be very, very successful with this particular move. And it can be physical home. It could be your workplace. It could be, I just heard church. I don't know why. And I'm not the I hear things person, but the word church did ring in my head. So I will say church as well. Some of you may be moving church. I do see that there is a movement of sorts. Okay. But again, emotionally, it may be heavy. It may not be the easiest move at times, because for some of you, it may be against what you've wanted, or you may not even wanted this. So it may have been thrust upon you, but I do see in the foundation that it will be very successful. Now, I feel like some of you may feel stuck again. There's a feeling of feeling limited. you may feel limited because you have a child. Let's be honest. You may be limited because you have to kind of put someone before you. There's someone that you may have to put before you, a mother, a child. Who else do you have to put in front of you? Some of you may be bound by some form of a judgment. So it's like, I can't go anywhere until I'm done with this because I have to do that. Like, you can't just do what you want to do right now, even though you're feeling like, I just want to do, or I feel like something is going to be changing, like something crazy is going to change or something amazing is going to happen, but you can't do it. Like, you may see it, but it can't happen right now. So it's going to take time. I feel like some of you may be very focused on your children. You may feel, your heart is very soft for a particular child or your children is what I see. And I do see that women is going to be very much a factor in your life. You may have to mend fences with your mother. Okay. Some of you may have mended fences with your mother. Okay. Some of you may even decide to be, and I got this from another sign, but a doula or, I get doula. I can't even think of the other names. So I'll say doula. Some of you may become a doula of some sort. And if you are, please leave it in the comment section below. If you decided to become a doula, and if you're deciding to go to law school, put it in the comment section below if you feel comfortable, or you're welcome to email me, because I just want to know if someone's out there can relate to that, especially a doula. And I feel that as far as your finances are concerned, guys, there are huge messages here. I'm trying to give them all to you, but they're coming from me in like little spurts and stuff. So this reading may sound like it's all over the place. Just stay with me, okay, and ride this ride, because that's just how it's coming out. I do feel like as far as finances is concerned, in the past where monies was coming in and then monies got low, for some of you, money could have come in just as quick, could have left just as quickly as it came in. Like, you could have started with $6,000, then it went down to $2,000, especially if you were getting your income tax check, that sort of thing. 600 down to 200. And then you were trying to hold on to that. So if you had 6, it eventually went down to 2. But when it got to 4, you was trying to hold on to dear life. But it's still, dwindled down. But it actually almost like if you took a risk to some extent, it worked for you. For some of you, risk taking for some of you, I'm not telling you to do this, but for some of you, if you're making a decision to take some form of a financial risk, it perhaps for some of you will be very rewarding for some of you. Okay. I do see that your finances will definitely be a positive in the month of March. I see that a lot of you will start to feel more and more financially stable, especially with this new job that's coming up for some of you guys. Possibly if you're starting your own business, if you have your own business, you may find that it's very lucrative. You may be somebody that's people like you because they feel like you're someone with a lot of integrity. I get integrity. So people are appreciating your integrity. They're appreciating that you are a very black, white, no holds barred. This is who I am, and I'm very firm and I hold myself to a high regard type of a person. And I feel that is what people will really like about you. You may find that your customer base may be more feminine is what I get as well. Okay. But I do see an overall, success and blossoming, feeling like your business is blossoming to some extent. Your finances are blossoming. I just get like feeling like, oh, money, like it's feeling full, not completely full, but it's like there's increase here, right? And that's for those of you who's making money. So for those of you that this energy has yet to catch up to you, spare the message in the comment section below, because clearly it does not relate to you. So you don't need to let me know that it doesn't relate to you. I know that it doesn't relate to everyone. So you don't have to make mention of that in the comment section below. I'm just letting you know. So now I want to say this. Now, as we get further into March, some of you guys are going to feel like, there's a lot on your plate. You just may feel like, I have a lot of responsibility. I'm kind of tired of this. I feel like there's so much more I could be doing or I want to do and I can't. Keep doing what you're doing. Hang in there. Don't give up. I do feel like there's something Sagittarius are doing, and I feel like this is you guys. There's something that you guys are doing that's behind the scenes. Like, you're not telling anyone anything. You're being very secretive about something. And I would urge you, if there's something very near and dear to you, don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone right now, because You may get competition. Someone may beat you at your game. I don't feel like somebody's going to steal something from you, but I feel like it can create a lot of problems. It can create conflict, chaos. I feel like someone trying to, again, beat you at your game. Especially if you have your own business or idea that is aching to you, like no one's ever thought of this, you'd better keep it to yourself until it's patent, copywritten, but until you have all the legalities together. Because again, you may be thinking like, I have an idea or I could do this, and then you need to get it legally sound. So keep that in mind. Don't go around telling people anything, because it may take a full year before this thing can really manifest. But when it does, when and if it does, I mean, the money you're going to be sitting on, the success that this thing is going to bring. You have the Nine of Pentacles, the Sun card, the Empress card, and the Queen of Wands. Okay. So the success that all of this, and I'm speaking directly to a Sagittarius. I'm not talking about anything else. So relax with the Empress and the Queen of Wands. I'm talking to you as an individual. The amount of success that can come from this, you really can't even see, but it can be a problem if you do not legally solidify it as well. So I would urge you guys to do your due diligence to make sure whatever new beginning you're starting, especially if it is one that you're trying to do all on your own, you want to make sure that the legal aspect is taken care of. Now, so keep things to yourself. I do feel like that's not going to be hard. You guys have been keeping a lot of stuff to yourself. And I do feel like there may be some feeling conflicted, but that's going to give way. Like you're not going to, you may feel conflicted about something. You may feel like there's a lot going on, but that is going to give way is what I see. Now, as far as love is concerned, I feel like a lot of Sagittarius, again, I feel that you may find that love could be a bit of a burden. You or the person you're with, it's like a burden. Some of you definitely don't feel like you want this relationship. You want a new beginning. You can't leave right now, even though in your heart and in your mind, you've left the building or they've left the building. And I feel like you guys are just existing. That person possibly is making plans of execution, when to have their exit strategy. And some of you, the idea of just being on your own and not having to deal with the responsibility of a relationship just makes you happy. If you've recently disconnected from somebody and said, listen, I'm out of here. You're cheating. You're being deceptive. You're lying. I'm just going to file on you and I'm getting out of here. Some of you are just immediately happy, or the person is happy that you guys are finally not together anymore. Like there's just like, whoo, I'm finally away. And I feel that there may be a fight ahead of you. As far as litigation, there may be a fight. It may take quite a while, but you've got to stick in there. It's going to get ugly. There's going to be a lot of secrets. There's going to be, and the secrets are going to come out. So whoever's holding on to a secret is going to come out. It's going to create some rift and problem. But I do see Sag women particularly. I see a Sag woman. It could be Sag men as well. But I do feel more strongly toward the women because this reading is overwhelmingly feminine energy. Is going to prevail in the end. So whatever you are starting that you feel like this is going to be a fight or this is a lot to endure, your best bet is to endure it. See it all the way through to the end. And you're going to go through a roller coaster before you get on solid ground, but you are the one left standing. So it will behoove you to stick it out. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Other than that, I feel that some of you are, love is not really the main focus. Like I said, you feel like you may diminish yourself, specifically Sagittarius ladies. You may feel like you become lesser of you when you have to be in a relationship with someone, or when you choose to give of yourself emotionally. So you're standing on your own 2 feet. You're not necessarily wanting to be that vulnerable in love person, because that kind of takes you back to those days of Saturn when things were not boding well for you, especially if you have Venus in Sagittarius. And I feel that there may be an opportunity for you guys to kind of get out and be out and re-engage in a lighthearted sort of way. You may hear someone wanting to connect with you, someone that may be young at heart or just plain out childish or could be younger than you. And I feel like this is someone that you have a very strong love connection with. Like you really do love this person in a fundamental level. So if it's not you, don't say, well, you're not talking about me. I know I'm not. But for some of you that could connect with this, you may hear from this person, or this person may be very much in your life this month in March, wanting to take you out, wanting to do things. And, you know, it pains you because it's like, you know, this person is not being honest. You know that this person is only giving you part of themselves. They're not necessarily wanting to fully commit to you, but your heart is in it. And I feel that possibly by the end of March, you may get the courage to be a little bit more selfish with this person and put yourself before always, you know, trying to stroke their ego or to, you know, be there for them is what it looks like for some of you. Now, others of you, I feel that although there may be an idea of wanting to disconnect from a relationship because you don't feel like your needs are being fulfilled emotionally, you don't feel like you're really wanting the relationship, or the other person doesn't want it. Some of you may find that a trip away may bring a new breath in this relationship. I do feel like there's a sense of, again, I just give for love for you guys. For me to try to pull a rabbit out of a hat, it's like, that's what I'll try to do. I don't necessarily see, once again in this month, love being the focus. I do see that there could be another love connection. You possibly having some form of a love connection, or or a female is like you. Some of you may love your mate, and then there's a female intervening with your love together, to where his mind is not even, he can't even be present in this relationship. You know, he may be acting all kind of out of sorts, and you're like, what the hell is going on here? You know, he's constantly trying to disappear. He's always talking about, you know, wanting to go somewhere, doing something, but it's not with you. And I feel someone has his brain all jacked up. It's just what I feel. And I feel that, you know, if a person isn't careful, the person that is being cheated with, whoever the person's cheating with, can become pregnant. Someone, the third party of the person, can become pregnant. So there needs to be being careful, you know, should not do it clearly, but, you know, be aware of that. And I feel that some of you, your mates could just be out here, just, you know, all over the place, you know, and it's going to come out in the second week, especially if a person is constantly claiming, I'm not doing anything, but you may be pregnant, you may be laid up, like I can't wobble around trying to figure out what he's up to, you know, and it's like the person is still steadfast lying about it, and they're going to be able to keep this lie up. I feel for like the first 2 weeks, is going to be able to really keep this lie up, but then slowly but surely, it's all going to come out and it's all going to unravel, which is going to create a shitstorm of a fight and an argument. And it may be like 3 other women, you know, 2 other women, 3 other women, hell, it may go all the way up to almost 5 women that this person is fooling around with. And I feel that you guys at this time, again, you may be at this place where, you know, I know I said this to you guys. If I didn't say it to you guys, I said this to Scorpio, but I know I said at some point, you're not going to be like, you're going to know something, but you're not going to be able to do anything about it. This may be it. If I said that to you guys, I thought I said it to Sagittarius, but once you know it, you may not necessarily be able to do anything about it at that time. Because again, like I told you, something about you is limited. You want to do something, you can't do it right now. For those of you that's pregnant, because you can't really do anything about that right now. Some of you may be emotionally connected with this person and you're not ready to get them out of your system, so you won't necessarily break up with them right now. Some of you, you're already at this place where it's like, I'm gonna make a move, but when I do, I can't make a move right now, but I'm definitely gonna make a move on your ass. Like there's that type of thing, and I'm not typically curse, but in that moment I felt it was so appropriate. So it's that type of thing. And so there's that. So I do feel like in the month of March, a lot of Sag women, men for it being a woman heavy focus reading, but you could just apply this to the women in your life. I feel you guys are going to take on a bunch of different types of energies. You're like every woman in the month of March. Okay. Solidifying yourself is going to take some time because you have other people that you're obligated with. There is some form of a limitation here. Children, you'll be a little bit more compassionate toward. Your love for some of you will take a back seat for your own financial security. and stability. And others of you, the person that you love very much so, maybe being distracted by someone who's very self-focused and alluring to that mate. And some of you could be doing that as well. You may be the other party alluring someone as well. But financially, you guys definitely are building your capital. And I feel when it's all said and done, you will stand straight and strong and tall as the Queen of Wands that you are. So that will end this reading. This is what I have for you guys for 2 weeks. I mean, let's be honest. This is like a monthly, right? I hope that this has been helpful for a lot of you guys. If it has been, if you like to share with how it has, please do so in the comment section below. We love to hear from you. And if you would like a personal reading with me, I can be reached in the description box below, guys. And if you're new to this channel, you know what to do. Well, actually, you don't know what to do because you're new. Subscribe though. And guys, my whole outro is just a mess. I was trying to say subscribe because I will be back. All of the people that have listened to me before, you already know how this goes. But for you new guys, subscribe because I will be back very soon with another one. Take care, Sag.